Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Claudette and I am your Jamaican Gypsy Granny. Now, in this video I want to talk about the video I did that spoke about my being turned back from Cancun while on my way to Merida. There were, that was done from a passionate place, and there were certain words that were used that may have been misinterpreted. And I also want to talk about the impact being turned back is having on me, and about the positive things that is coming out of this. So welcome. Anyway, let me just get into it because I just like to talk. All right, so now, first of all, the first thing I want to address is that I kept saying that I was moving to Merida. Now this would imply that I was moving to Merida permanently. This is not so. I was only going there for 6 months because typically when you arrive in Cancun, like happened the last time, they give you 6 months. Now, how it came about is that after leaving Merida last year, October, I did not plan to be staying here for so long. When I came to Jamaica, I was just coming down here to do a little business, run a little business, make some money, and go back to Merida. However, when I went to get my eyes tested, it was discovered that I had cataracts. I went to get it tested because I noticed that in my left eye, this one, in this eye over here, I was slowly losing sight. Now I've been wearing glasses since I was 10 years old. So this eye I can see, okay in. Now this eye was the better side, and this eye was the one that was, most badly affected by my previous condition. So when I started losing sight in this eye, it limited my ability to see. Now, as a seamstress, especially what I do, that is such an intricate process, it became difficult for me to see. So when I came down, I was unable to do that. I started trying to get the surgery done, but the surgery turned out to be like 200 and something $1,000, which I could not afford. I was helped by quite a few people to get it done, but in the last stages, I still needed to make some money to, get the surgery done. Eventually, I decided I'd take a job as a housekeeper. Now, housekeepers in Jamaica don't get paid a lot. And so basically, while working, I was just barely able to keep my head above water, to pay rent, buy food, and all of that on what they were paying me. And of course, I could not supplement that income by sewing because I could not see. So anyway, I got the surgery done. I ended up staying here for a while. The last appointment I had from my surgery, because not only did I do surgery where they replaced my lens, they also after a while said to me that I needed to do laser surgery on the same eye. I did that, like, mid-October, and my last appointment, oh, let me get this right. Yeah, no, they did it like late September. My last appointment with the doctor was the 2nd of October. So I went for that. No, it was the 30th of September, I remember, because after that I went on to go to my high school reunion, which I plan to do a video on and upload it later, but moving right along. So I did all of that. Now, because of that, I was basically struggling down here, and starting the business up again, it involves, sewing. Sometimes I would sew right through the night, and then I had to go into various clubs to sell. There were times when I had to just sit there in the club till I closed, trying to sell to make money. And my daughter said to me, "Mommy, look, you've been trying to do YouTube forever. Why don't you come to Merida, stay with me where you don't have to be working so hard, and we will go work together to build both our channels." So that was the plan. I was going to go to Merida for 6 months, see some of the places that I did not have the opportunity to see, and just spend time just focusing on building my channels. And I say channels, and I will tell you about it. But before I expand on that part of it, I wanted to let you know that with this move, I had an old laptop that I could connect to a TV because I had broken the screen, but it was a cheap laptop, so there was nowhere. Every time I tried to get it repaired, which would have cost me about $18,000, but no one could find the lens, the screen to replace it. So they said, might as well get rid of it. I was thinking to take it back to Merida with me, but I would need to get a monitor and all of that. And my daughter said, listen, I have a tablet that you could use in the meantime until you build a channel, and then maybe you can get a laptop. So I was gonna throw the laptop away, but some young boy was asking me, Mom, do you know anybody that have a laptop that they're throwing away? So I said, sure, I have one, you can have it. So I gave him the laptop. I also got rid of a lot of clothes, a lot of stuff. I didn't acquire much when I came back to Jamaica, but I got rid of all of that because for 6 months I was going away. I was going to be building my channel, and I didn't know whether I'd be returning to Jamaica, going to another country, or whatever I was doing, because I was pretty much up in the air, right, at that point. I say this to take you back to when I started the first trip to Merida. I had decided at that point, I was tired of working so hard. I know that you can make money doing YouTube. I know I have a lot to offer on YouTube, which, is coming up. And so I wanted to just become a travel nomad. I always wanted to travel across the world. So Merida would have been my first stop. And then I would go to another country and just keep it moving, spending 6 months here, 6 months there, whatever time I was given elsewhere, until, that stop, and then it was time for me to either go back home or find somewhere where I wanted to settle forever. So that was the plan. Anywho, going into Merida, I got turned back. Now, that was a big financial impact on me, being turned back there, because I'd spent quite a bit of money. I've given away a lot of stuff, and I mean, I am not ashamed to say, because I know that there are a lot of people in my age group who are still struggling financially for whatever reason. I mean, my reason may differ from yours and stuff, but not all of us at this age have it all together. Where I'm at right now, I have, my finances are, I mean, I have no retirement plan, nothing like that. So this is what I was trying to build by doing YouTube and just living. Another thing I had adopted, which is somehow still with me, I am trying to maintain a minimalist lifestyle, because moving to Merida, when I moved to Merida, I had sold my stove, my fridge, my washing machine, my king size bed. Everything I owned was gone. I'd thrown away all my clothes too, because I had a lot of old clothes and I really didn't. So I will try to put in a video here of what I left from Merida with the very first time. I went there with maybe like 9 blouses, 2 pair of jeans, 4 tights. That was it. 1 pair of shoes. That's what I went with. And I went there and I acquired stuff. But through this experience, I've learned that I don't need that much to live off of. I don't need that much. We don't need that much. We don't need all this stuff. And I'm quite happy with living a minimalist lifestyle, which I will continue to do. But, I say this to say that. So I wasn't moving to Merida. I was just going there to try and rebuild, all right, my life. Now, let me tell you what being turned back for me meant. And I'm hoping not to drag this video on too long. But I've experienced a lot of trauma in my life. And if you watch that video, you will see where one young lady said, because she knows me, she's a high school classmate. She says, you've been through so much in life, and yet you remain strong, resilient, and positive. It wasn't me, it was the grace of God that kept me going. But out of all my trauma, the one thing that kept me alive, the one thing that kept me positive, the one thing that kept me going is that I believe that, God, the only reason God is allowing me to go through all of this is so that I can use my experience to impact others who have gone through mine, to let them know they're not alone, to share my story. And I've been wanting to do this forever, but I keep putting it off, because I'm always too busy just trying to, a part of it was me being afraid to get to deep dive into what I've been through and share all of that. But I have to put it out there, because as I said, if I die and not share my story, then I feel like my life would have lost some of its meaning. If I am able to share my story and it changes even one person's life, if it saves one person, then my life would have been worth it. All the hardship I've been through would have been worth it. Every single trauma that I have borne would have been worth it. And I think this is why I was able to go through this experience in Cancun with less angst than otherwise, because I've been through so much trauma. I was like, okay, when these things happen, I no longer ask why me. I now ask, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to tell me? What lesson is it that I need to learn? And from this, I think he was telling me, listen, you need to go back to Jamaica. You need to continue with that plan, that um what is it, prophecy that I've laid on your life. You need to go back. You need to share your story. Speak to women, because we're better to share my story than here in Jamaica, where I see so many women being subjected to abuse, domestic abuse, other form of essays, and childhood trauma. And one of the things I wanted to do, I have another channel called Claudette's Couch. That channel will be dedicated to sharing my story. I won't share it in here because this is not the niche for this channel. Claudette's Couch will have my story. And all the earnings from that channel, whatever I earn, I want to build a safe space for women who are suffering abuse in whatever form and need somewhere to go, because too many women stay in abusive relationships because they have nowhere to go. They have no one to talk to. They don't have a listening ear. Now, I know that there are shelters available in Jamaica, but you can't have too much. And this is my dream. This is my dream. I want to be that space. I want to offer that safe space. I want to be that understanding, listening ear that can be there for another woman who is facing what I've gone through, or other things that maybe I haven't gone through it, but because I've already gone through so much, I'm better able to relate and understand and offer an empathic ear. And so this is why I believe that my being turned back from Cancun was not a tragedy. It wasn't. It was traumatic, don't get me wrong, because especially when you suffer trauma, each time you face another trauma, it triggers you, right? And I mean, when it happened, I felt a couple of tears come to my eye, but then I shook it off because I remember. And each time something happens, when I have to understand that God is in control, it takes me less and less time to shake it off and say, all right, God, I want you to pan now. I want you to try tell me, say, all right, sometimes you have to ease upon me, and I forgot so hard. You understand what I say? But yeah, that's it. He is in total control of my life. And I'm here in Jamaica, starting over with absolutely nothing. I think I have 14 Jamaican dollars in my account. I'm now here trying to rent somewhere, trying to get a laptop, trying to start my business back. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I don't have to worry about it because it's in God's hands. So this is what I wanted to share with you this time, and I'm hoping to lay this to rest at this moment. If there are any questions you want answered, you can leave it down in the comment. If you've been here this far, please just give me a sub, anyway, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a share, and share the story. And if there's anything that you want to ask me, I'm available. Just send me a DM. All right, thanks for watching.